Sorry about that. I guess we lost the slideshow, but I was just saying this is an 8-outlet version of the iBoot. It's rack mountable, so it's an 1.75" high, fits in a 19-inch rack. It's about 8 inches deep, metal enclosure. We offer 16 different models. We have 8 NEMA for domestic use and 8 IEC versions for international use. We offer in single and dual inlet versions. So in a dual, a single line cord would power outlets 1 through 4, and the second line cord would power outlets 5 through 8. This allows you to essentially double the capacity of the switch. So a 15-amp line cord, then you would have 30-amp capabilities within a single 1U unit. We also offer it in 15-amp and 20-amp domestic versions and 10-amp and 20-amp IEC versions. Any one of those models could take an internal modem option, which would allow you to dial in out of band and control it with a modem and or touch tones from your cell phone. It's also expandable so that a single IP address could essentially control up to 128 outlets. There's just a simple RJ connection on the back of the unit, and you just simply daisy chain the units, and then you can control all the outlets from a single IP. Here's just a close-up shot of the rear panel showing the expansion. There's a serial port here, so you could connect it directly to your laptop to control it. Here's the network port, and here's the phone jack, and if you have the internal modem. These are the push-to-reset type circuit breakers, so if you pop a breaker, all you have to do is push it back in to reset it. There's no replaceable fuses or anything like that. The front panel's pretty straightforward. LEDs indicating how many line cords are active, and then an LED for each of the outlets. When the LED is lit, the outlet is on. These are the different control options that you would have on the iBoot bar. Additionally, we've added SNMP and serial, which the iBoot itself does not have, and also touch tone control as well. Similar to the iBoot bar has a web control screen. In this case, you're seeing the status of all the outlets, the names of all the outlets. If you wanted to control outlets 1 and 2, you simply click the associated boxes and then go to the control buttons. So you click 1, 2, and then click off, or click number 1 and click cycle. The cycle time is settable as well as the delay time. So in this case, we have a cycle of 10 seconds and a delay time of 1 second. So if you were to try to turn on all of the outlets at one point, they would stagger at least 1 second. This certainly eliminates the inrush currents that you could get if you tried to turn all the outlets on at a single time. There's grouping features, so you can name basically an unlimited amount of groups. In this case, we have a group called even, which is showing outlets 2, 4, 6, and 8. So this particular user would only see, he doesn't get the status or control of any of the odd-numbered outlets. It's very usable if you have like dual power supplies. Some big routers have 2 power supplies on them. Then you could put one on number 1 and one on number 5. Call that a single group, and then they could also be on 2 separate line cords, and you can control them simultaneously. So you don't have to click 1 and 5. You just click the group 1 and 5. There's multi-user capabilities, so you could have up to 16 different users and assign them rights for each one of the users. So in this case, this user only has the rights to a group called, has the device view, and he only has access to outlets 1, 4, and 8. So he doesn't have access to any other outlets. He can't control them, and he can't see them. This is just a screenshot of the global control. So if you had up to, in this case, we're showing 12 different units, and it's just showing like an overview of the status of each of the outlets. if you wanted to control an individual, you could just click on that outlet. Same as the iBoot, it has auto ping capabilities. In this case, you have the ability to control up to 16 different auto pings, and you could assign rights to any one of those auto pings. In this case, cycling power number 1 or cycling a group. Any combination of 16 different auto pings can be done with the iBoot bar. Additionally, we have alarm status. So in this case, we have an alarm set that says we've exceeded the amperage on the line cord. We had it set for, say, 12 amps, and it's now measuring 12.8 amps. So I want to get an alarm, so I can send an SNMP alarm. I can also send an email alarm, and also it'll show up on the web screen itself. These are just the different way you can control the iBoot bar. All the setups in the iBoot bar is different than the iBoot. The iBoot's done on the web. The iBoot bar is all done over the CLI. This is just showing how you would get the status of the outlets. You would just simply type in get outlets or get outlet number 1 or set number 1 to on, off, or cycle. Again, the setup screens are all done through the CLI. There's no web setup. All your help topics, again, are done CLI. The internal modem option allows you to control the unit out of band. So if the network is down, you could still dial into the unit using a modem or using a telephone and control the outlets and get the status of the outlets out of band. The modem itself has all the global compliances you'll need, so no matter which country you put it in, you'll have the homologation for the particular telephone network. Same as the iBoot, it has a setup and control utility, so it allows you to discover the units on the network. It also allows you to save and upload configurations. So if you're typically using the same configuration for each unit, you just save it on the utility, and then when you plug the unit in, you can upload the saved utility to that device. Very helpful if you're installing hundreds or a device at the same time. We offer developer support as well, so if you have custom applications where you want to have embedded systems controlling it instead of using the web screens, we have that kind of support as well. These are additional features. It has syslog capabilities, email notifications that we talked about. Up to 4 different SNMP managers can be used at once. Also, again, the full compliance. So we have the UL, we have the CE. Very important when you're using these in home environments as well. That's the iBoot bar. That's the web control. This is basically the same product without the web. So it has serial control only, and then also you can just use contact closures. So if you close the contacts, you can turn on or turn off one of the outlets. That's called the serial boot bar. We offer that in 2 different versions. We offer a domestic version, 15 amp, and then an international version at 10 amps. The IP-IO8 is a device that has 8 inputs and 8 outputs and can transport those contacts over Ethernet. The device allows the inputs to go in both directions. You can also set it up so that a multi-site event can work. So I can close one contact here and send that contact to 4 different places shown here, but it can actually be sent to up to 32 places. I can also have 32 different places report to one device. So we've had applications like in nurse call stations where they put a device in each room, and whenever the device is closed, then you can get the single command at the nurse's station. In home applications, we've seen these where they use it for gate control, perimeter monitoring, or perimeter camera control. So anything that can work off general purpose I/O can be used with this device, and it's much cheaper to run Ethernet type wires than it would be to run, any other if you had to use AC wiring or stuff like that. So in factories, we've seen as well where the infrastructure for the Ethernet is already there. They use these devices. Again, you can monitor the status and control of these devices as well over the web. So, as well as 32 different places, you can monitor. You can use one of the 32 as the web page. All the setup for the devices again is done over the web. These are just the differentiators for Dataprobe. We've been in business since 1969, so we've been around a long time. Our tech support is available for you guys between 8:30 and 5:30. Generally, you're either going to speak to the guy who designed it or just one tier below him.
Thank you for joining us as we looked at our network support products, the iBoot and iBoot Bar. Please contact your regional rep or certified cyber solutions to find out how to become an authorized iBoot dealer.